to the Boomer and Zoomer podcast.
Boomer and Zoomer?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is now. You're the Boomer, I'm the Zoomer. And we're out here. I don't fucking know.
All right. Well, welcome to Break Room Nachos episode 9.
I survived the gunshot wound from the end of the last episode.
The fart shot wound.
I got shot by a gun. It really hurt.
Oh.
And I can't find my chapstick. I don't know where you put that. This is a dick move.
It happens.
We aren't making enough out of this podcast to pay my medical bills, so that sucks.
Yeah.
I had to sell Luna.
We're not even making enough for you to buy a new chapstick.
Donate now so Matt can buy a pack of ramen and probably Luna back.
Yeah, repurchase your cat.
Yeah.
So our friend Crystal,
mm-hmm.
who she's been pretty consistently listening to our podcast, which thanks, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
But she this morning she just proved a theory that I've had for years, that she's really kind of a serial killer.
Okay.
Because she was listening to the last episode and she goes, "Hey, I like banana Laffy Taffy."
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
It's a total serial killer move.
That's no good. Can't have that.
Maybe we could hook her and Sean up. Ugh. Gross. They could just sit there and enjoy
they could split a banana Laffy Taffy.
Gross. Eat it Lady in the Tramp style.
I was about to say. You like stretch between them and it come back together.
I love it. Oh man. Good times.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing? What you been up to?
Just working. Oh, I do have to update the audience. I know.
Finished Citizen Kane?
I did not.
Rest in peace.
I was gonna finish it off a couple nights ago, and I thought, well, it's already been almost a week, so maybe I should just watch it again from the beginning, and then I didn't want to commit all that time. But huge major announcement. I have completed the Jumanji trilogy.
Woo! You did it.
Yep.
Robin Williams is all up in that bookcase.
He is now. Yeah, I was gifted the OG Jumanji movie, so now
Sick.
now all three of them are there. I think most of my collections are complete. If anyone wants to send me Rambo Last Blood,
I haven't seen any of the Rambo movies.
that one I'm missing. So if you guys wanna slide into my DMs there, you can find out my addy and I'll
quit e-begging you, e-thought.
I'm kidding. No, nobody slide into the DMs. I'm not giving you my address.
Mike is going to post a link to his Amazon wish list right before his birthday.
Yeah.
I'd link mine, but it's just a lot of butt plugs.
Oh, that is such a great story.
We haven't told that story yet, so that was no context for that.
The context is Mack and butt plugs on Amazon, but
that's not the context at all.
Well, we Mack and I had this coworker Tim who we've mentioned here and there, but love that dude, and we had joked around one year that we should get him a butt plug for Christmas.
And so I looked up butt plugs on Amazon, checked out a few, and then Amazon did the thing that it always does, where when you look at one thing one time, it will recommend it to you on your homepage for like a couple weeks afterwards.
Yep.
So I kept getting butt plugs recommended me by Amazon.
I imagine that's where the butt plug wish list got started.
Well, I started seeing some that were really sparkly, and the rest is history, as they say.
Exactly. Oh, what have you been up to?
Oh, not much. I had a bit of a situation at work recently.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't originally going to bring this up because it's kind of super embarrassing and makes me sound like I'm really bad at my job, but
Okay.
I managed to get a resolution, so it's solved now. We had Pie Day coming up, 3/14,
Yep.
where a lot of bakeries, and mine included, have like a sale on their pies.
It makes sense.
And so we buy a lot of pies for Pie Day, and my boss had sent me like an Excel sheet with like how many pies he wanted bought for that day.
Okay.
So I ordered them and I brought them in. It was kind of a lot of pies. I had a little trouble finding like spots for all of them. And so the next day I was putting away a completely different order, and he came up to me shaking his head, and I was like, "What are you shaking your head for?" And he looks at me and he goes, "On that Excel sheet, that was total number of pies, not cases of pies.
Oh no.
There are 8 pies to a case."
So you ordered 8 times the amount of pies necessary?
I ordered 8 times the number of pies necessary.
Wow.
It was so fucking stupid because I looked at it and I was like, why did I think we needed over 100 cases of pies?
That's a lot of pies. I mean,
it's the same number of pies that I would buy around Thanksgiving for context. And I don't know what went through my mind where I was like, this makes sense. Like, even when I was looking at it and like placing the order, I was like, this seems like a lot of pies. And like, I looked at like the Excel sheet listed like our year-over-year sales, which I read as like number of sales or number of pies that we sold last year Pie Day. And so we had like the number of pies we sold last year and then the number of pies we were buying for this year. And it was like 25 for last year for one kind and then like 32 for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, going from 25 cases to 32 is a pretty significant jump considering we haven't been doing like significantly better in sales, especially because of the pandemic situation.
Right.
But for some reason I was just like, yeah, I'll buy 32 cases of apple pies anyway.
Oof.
But so I was basically just resigning myself to the reality that I was going to have to deal with having all these extra pies for the next couple months. But I reached out to the warehouse and they were nice enough to take it back. So today I loaded up a big old pallet full of pies to be loaded on a truck for them tomorrow, and they're going to be gone now. So it's solved. It's solved. So I don't have to feel as bad about it. But it was just like, I felt so fucking dumb.
It happens. That kind of thing happens. What are you going to do?
It's so fucking embarrassing because, especially because right now, one of our regional people who like goes around to all the different stores is trying to arrange a time for a newer buyer from a different store to come up to our store to learn from me. Because he, I guess, has a lot of faith in my abilities.
Well, that's good.
It wouldn't have been so good if she showed up and I was like, yeah, I accidentally bought 8 times the number of pies. So, because she's, especially like their store has a big issue with like having room to store things. My store also has that same issue. So part of like her coming up is for me to show her like, this is how you kind of manage a limited amount of space. And it's like, ignore the fact that we have all these fucking pies in the way. So I'm really glad those are going to be gone when she comes up to learn from me. So I don't have to sit there and be like, I'm kind of a fucking moron. Time to learn from me.
Right. Now, did you guys also do anything pizza related for that? Because, pizzas are sometimes called pies as well.
Yeah, but we don't do a sale on those.
Oh. Well, that sucks. You should.
I didn't think about it, but I did get pizza on Pie Day.
There you go.
Because I work near a pizza joint, so I decided to order a pizza, and I was like, while I'm in the area, I'll go buy myself a pie to take care of at least part of this problem I created.
Nice.
So I got a pizza and some pie.
Yeah. Actually, Mac, I was gonna bring this up to you immediately after I left last week. I was on my way home and I saw a car that it was obviously like a business vehicle, and it had an advertisement on the side of it, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it before, but it was for a service to remove geese from your yard.
I have not seen this.
The name of the company was Goosebusters.
That's pretty clever.
Right? How great is that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
The name Goosebusters sounds fantastic. I wouldn't think that was that much of a problem, that you would need that kind of business.
You
but
need to pay someone for it.
yeah, and also they kind of dropped the ball on the whole graphic on the side of their car, because it had a picture of a dog.
What?
Yeah, I don't get that, but yep.
All right.
Who are you gonna call?
Goosebusters. Goosebuster. I hardly know her.
Nice. We haven't pulled that one out in a while.
Like my penis.
Well, you pull that out fairly regularly.
No, I've been storing up my pee in my balls because that's where it comes from. That's where it's stored.
Yeah, I actually just drained my balls before I came over.
Yeah, not me.
Well,
I've been saving it.
Well, actually, after I came over, it was before we started recording.
Yeah, not me. I'm saving it. I think I'm gonna use it to brew some beer or something. Call it Max Pissweiser.
Okay.
Since I don't drink beer, I figured I'd just make something to replicate the experience that I get with beer to drink beer drinkers. So I just thought I would make something absolutely rancid for them to drink.
Just something that just piss.
So they can gag on my piss.
Okay, this is taking a weird turn today.
I'm tired.
That's fine.
When Papa's tired, he just lets his brain do its thing.
Papa,
Papa.
you're going with Papa today?
I call myself Papa to Luna because I feel weird calling myself Dad or Daddy.
Okay.
I'm her Papa. She's my little girl.
Did you get any questions for us recently?
I got some.
What you got?
I'm
What
not
you
going to
got,
tell
brah?
you.
Well,
they're from me. They're
well,
my questions.
well,
They're
we-
on my Discord.
well, we
No,
can't.
shut up.
We can't answer
Shut up. Shut up. The rest of the podcast is going to be silence.
All right.
No. I really want to see how long I could fake you out there. I should probably answer some of these questions that have been leaving on red, so to speak. Scorpion, a Canadian viewer, asks about
we love Canada.
what are our opinions on bagged milk?
I do know that it was a thing. There was a song. I can't remember who sings it, so that kind of drops the ball. But they had mentioned having to go to Canada to get milk in a bag.
Yeah, the thing I find weird about bagged milk, and like not as a concept because I've never experienced it, so I really can't make an opinion on it in terms of like its usage. But the thing I find weird about bagged milk is how it's really not sold anywhere outside of Canada. Like where we live, we are closest to Canada than any other part of the country.
Absolutely.
And I never see bagged milk here. It's not sold in our stores.
Nope. No.
Like that does not cross the border. That shit stays over there.
Yeah. Now I've been to Canada a few times. Great place. Love Canada.
Love Canada. Toronto's a great fucking city.
Toronto is a great fucking city. But I don't think I've ever been to like a grocery store while I've been there.
No,
So
the only times I've been there, it's been like touristy shit.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the milk in a bag. Do you know, is the bag in a box? Is it like boxed wine here? It's
Nah, bro, it's just sitting there.
just a homeless bag?
Yeah. So I have seen, and I didn't know about this until recently, but like I always wondered like how it was consumed, like how do you store a bag of milk?
Right.
But they actually have these like pitchers that you like put the bagged milk inside of, and then you like cut off one of the tips like you do with like an icing bag.
Yeah.
And you like pour it out of the pitcher.
That
I don't my real question is like what's the purpose of it?
Yeah, I don't.
Like why not just get a gallon of milk?
Right.
Or a half gallon? Like why do you need a bag over a proper container? What's the advantage?
I really can't see one, but I mean, I would have thought at least they would put it in like a cardboard box and have like a little like spigot tap thing
Maybe.
on it, like box wine.
I mean, maybe they do. I don't exactly know the whole culture on bagged milk. I've just never personally seen that.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'd give it a try. I'm sure it tastes delicious.
I mean, I probably wouldn't like because I just don't like milk, but
I mean, I don't really either,
there's nothing to
but
do with it being in a bag.
if it's got some chalky in it, that might be good.
Chalky Milky is pretty epic. Is there Chalky Milky sold in bags? Because that would just kind of look like a bag full of diarrhea.
Or like the strawberry milk. Like that would just look like a bag of Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, there's some weird flavored milks. Have you ever looked at like the milk section at like one of the big grocery stores around here?
I have. There was a bit I did. Oh, fuck. I forget what episode it was. It was an episode of Captain's Kitchen I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was cooking, but it was around St. Patrick's Day, and I got some like shamrock milk. It was disgusting.
I mean, shamrock shakes from McDonald's are delicious.
Yeah, they are, but that milk was gross.
Ugh. Gross.
I don't know. Like I know it's effectively the same thing, but like the minty like goodness of a shamrock shake does not translate into the milk. Like, you don't want minty milk. That's no good.
No. I think I've seen, I want to say maybe like banana milk.
Oh, I think I've had that. It's gross.
It sounds gross. Krista would probably fucking love it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the problem though. Like bananas, at least in my opinion, like there's no good banana flavored thing. Like bananas themselves are fine. I like bananas.
Right.
But give me something banana flavored and I'm not interested. Like,
Yeah, well,
it
doesn't taste like a banana.
No, it never translates.
No. I like green bananas. Like the greener the better.
I don't eat them often enough to make a preference.
Fair enough. The other day I had 3 bananas for lunch.
Kind of sounds like an average Saturday for you.
But I'm talking about the fruit.
Oh, okay. I thought we were shifting gears.
no, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, no, I should eat fruit more often than I do. You know, I'm a big fan of apples. I do like a good peach.
Luna, shut the fuck up.
I don't know if that'll pick up on the recording. She's about to throw up. I can tell.
Oh.
She'll make that sound before she throws up, and she's trying to find a carpet. Luna does this thing. I mean, a lot of cats do this. This is not unique to Luna, but Luna and every cat does this really frustrating thing where when they need to throw up, they do not stay where hard floor is. Every cat, they find a carpeted surface to throw up in or on. I don't know why.
Huh.
It is so frustrating. And like, you know, most of my place is carpeted. You know, it's my bathroom and my kitchen that are bare tile.
Yeah.
Or laminate. And so I have to like, I've learned the signs as you saw just now. Like I know when she's about to throw up. Usually like if she meows like that, she's about to throw up. Sometimes she'll start to like lick her lips a lot. I assume because there's like acid coming up that she's reacting to.
Yep.
So I've learned the signs and I've learned to react to it. And I just have to like sometimes literally like chase her down and nab her and throw her into the kitchen before she throws up, which I feel really bad doing, but it's like I've had my carpet get stained before. Like it's not good.
No, it's not.
And Luna adds an extra level of annoying to it when not long after I adopted her. I don't know. This is maybe 2 or 3 months after I adopted her. I discovered she had been throwing up under my bed while I wasn't home. So not only was it on carpet, it was also difficult to clean.
Oh, gosh. Gross.
Oh, cats. What were we talking about before my cat started throwing up?
I don't know, but that seems like a good segue.
I mean, yeah. I mean, do we want to answer more questions or did you have something else to go off of that?
Not about cats throwing up. Let's see what else we got to answer.
Okay. Thoughts on Cannibals? I have a question that is a little easier to answer. Would you ever like say we found a very humane way, super like consensual, like would you ever try eating human meat?
Voluntarily or out of necessity?
Voluntarily. So like you're given the option, the person who died consented to it, was totally okay with it. Maybe it's like a specialized restaurant that is for some reason allowed to operate. I don't fucking know.
I mean, maybe.
I'll do the same with my pigeon meat answer. Like I'll try anything once.
Yeah,
but I think that is something that I would have to, on principle, never do again. But I'd want to try it once.
Yeah, I definitely don't desire to try it.
No,
but yeah, I suppose I'd be willing. There's this movie, I believe it's I think it's a Danish film called The Green Butchers, And it's these two guys that run a butcher shop, and it's been years since I've seen it, but I believe the way the story goes, they've got someone like repairing their like meat freezer, like their walk-in.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he gets locked in there and freezes to death. And they're like, "Oh shit, we don't want to get pegged for like murdering this dude." So they end up like cutting him up and selling him in the butcher shop.
Nice.
Except it backfires because people in the town fucking love it. And so it causes this whole other problem where now they have to keep trying to source human meat.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet, my dude.
Yeah. And
Meat.
Oh, I see what you did there. I don't really remember where the movie goes after that, but
there's a because of my experience with Boy Scouting, I know a lot of camp songs. There is an older camp song. It's not sung much among Boy Scouts anymore. Just because you kind of have to know it to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like staff members try to sing it with Scouts, and you have to like teach them the chorus and then go through the verses yourself, and it's just they don't like it because you got to like memorize the whole chorus. But
yeah,
it's called Johnny Verbeck.
Okay,
and it's kind of a similar story. It's about a Dutchman who made the finest sausages, sauerkraut, and speck until he invented a sausage making machine. And then one day the machine wouldn't go, so he climbed inside to see what made it so.
Okay.
But this was late at night, and his wife woke up, and in her sleep, she hit the crank for the button.
Ooh.
And Johnny Verbeck was meat.
Oh, damn.
And they're like the lyrics only go to like him dying to the machine, and like the lyrics are like, "Oh, Mr. Johnny Verbeck, how could you be so mean? I told you you'd be sorry for inventing that machine." Like the chorus kind of like foreshadows his inevitable demise. And that's usually the last verse you hear, like singing it in the Boy Scouts. But there's extra lyrics about like an inspector coming to the shop because he's getting reports about the meat being sold there. But the wife needs to cover it up, so she ends up grinding the inspector too.
I wonder if the movie is based on that song.
Maybe, I don't know.
It sounds eerily familiar.
There's
similar.
There's so many songs you learn as a Boy Scout camp counselor that like the Boy Scouts over the years have banned a lot of songs.
Uh-huh.
That's not one of them, but like I can see it getting banned.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other examples. One of my all-time favorites is a song about like the pajamas you wear during different seasons.
Okay.
And it ends up like the last lyric or the last verse of the song is about how in the summertime you just go buck ass nude when you sleep.
Okay.
I think they banned it just because too many scouts were getting naked at night. You can't have that when you have a bunch of adults watching kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna mention in that the song about was it
Mr. Johnny Verbeck?
Yeah, Mr. Johnny Verbeck. You know, sometimes the ladies they get up in the middle of the night and they want to hit the crank. Sometimes it has to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of fun band camp songs.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they don't even necessarily have to be camp songs. I feel like as a kid, like there were just a lot of songs like that, you know, just kids sing and you pass on, like playground nonsense.
Sure. Another thing I thought of about the whole cannibals discussion, I recently started watching the show Hannibal, which is like based on Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, but it's set in like a modern day, and it's about like inspectors chasing him down or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a very simplified version of what's going on. It's a very good show. I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah.
But there's all these really interesting scenes they show. Like Hannibal's like a really good cook and frequently has the other characters over to eat with him. And these scenes are so brilliant because they always heavily imply but never overtly say that he's feeding them like human meat.
Nice.
And I love it because you're sitting there like, is he? And you're kind of like goaded to make your own decision on that. And I love when stuff is left ambiguous like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a really strong show. Hannibal's played by Mads Mikkelsen. He's a really cool actor.
He might be one of the actors in The Green Butchers.
Oh shit!
I definitely have to look this up right now. That would be really ironic if this all came together full circle like that.
Did Mads Mikkelsen get typecast as a cannibal?
Yes!
Oh my god!
Yes! Yes! That is crazy!
That's insane.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to hang out with him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mads Mikkelsen was pretty cool, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Damn, Mads, what you doing out there?
Damn,
you mad?
Yeah, it was a 2003 movie. Huh.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
That is, I don't like that at all. Not one bit. Speaking of Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs, interesting fact about the film. So Anthony Hopkins, he won Best Actor for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
who did he play again? Was he Lecter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That is the shortest amount of on-screen time an actor has spent and won an Oscar like that. I think throughout the whole movie, I mean, you know, the whole thing, he's like the character.
Contained, right?
Yeah. But I think he's only on screen for like 17 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Silence of the Lambs that well. I watched it years ago, but I remember liking it a lot, and I definitely like. It's really interesting how they have this story about like chasing down a serial killer, and they like brought in another serial killer to like use as a basis for how this person thinks.
Right.
Like that's just a fascinating concept on its own, but he did do a really good job like making that character convincing and a little bit spooky.
Little spook.
Little spooky boy.
Ooh, I'm scared. Got a little chill.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror movie guy, but I really like smart ones like that.
Yeah. Horror is not really my favorite genre, but I do like a good like the 80s slasher films. Those are kind of fun.
Really? I tend to think those are a bit much.
I'm okay with those. I just don't like the stuff like any of the new horror movies like where it's just like a random creepy girl in a hallway or like something pops out of a wall.
Well, like there's some kind of disconnect, I feel like, where you know, psychological horrors are really popular and tend generally receive, if they're done well, they receive a better like recognition than like your classic like a slasher movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of directors are trying to take the psychological thriller idea and they're like, okay, jump scares, that's what'll get them, and that's not what psychological horror is.
No.
So it's generally like in the last decade or so or whatever, like it's become such a cheap genre where these directors pump out garbage and it's not good.
Yeah,
because they're replicating something incorrectly.
Yeah, it happens.
One of my favorite, well, not one of, I mean, it's a game that I hate love. It's a game called Observer. It's a horror game. I can't do horror games. They're fucking terrible. Like horror movies don't generally bother me like at all because like it's on screen, you know, it's not like in the real world or whatever,
right?
And like I'm always sitting there like this is happening in the movie, like I'm just sitting on my couch with my fat dick out. That's not usually the case. I just wanted to say it.
Okay.
But then like with a horror game, it's like you're fucking in it. Like the scares are happening to you, even if they can't hurt you, they're happening to you. And especially like you get headphones on if they got like really good a stereo sound where you can like hear exactly where certain sounds are coming from. It's that much more terrifying.
Yeah.
And there's this game of Observer. It's set in like a dystopian future where you're like a cop who has an augment that allows you to like enter people's dreams. But the more you use it, the less connected to reality you become.
Okay.
Where you'll be sitting there like walking through an apartment building thinking you're in the real world, and you'll open a door and it's like, oh, I'm in someone's dream right now. When the fuck did that happen?
Right.
And it's terrifying because the further the game goes on, the less you're aware of what's real and what isn't. I couldn't finish that game. It was so fucking scary.
I imagine that you know, most people, if they were just sitting there, you know, with their fat dick out playing a horror game, you know, they'd probably it'd probably shrink up. I mean, you and I wouldn't have to worry about that.
No.
Just because just
Alpha male energy.
Just massive dongs hanging out. But other people might.
That might be a problem for other people. Yeah.
Did you ever play a horror game? I believe it was for the Dreamcast called Typing on the Dead.
I have not played it myself, but I know of it.
I guess for those of you that don't know, it was like weren't you were like hunting zombies.
They were like fighting zombies in like I believe it was like a mansion or an office building or something.
Yeah.
And you defeat them by typing words.
Yeah, they had like they'd come at you and they'd have a word above their head and you'd have a keyboard and you'd have to quickly type the word correctly in order to kill them.
Yeah.
Such a weird concept.
Older games like were so adventurous with some of the weird shit they tried. It's something I definitely miss in terms of gaming.
Yeah.
And also like video game developers or console makers were also much more willing to just try weird shit.
Yeah.
Like when Nintendo did like the Power Glove or like the NES, like whatever the little gun you could get for it.
Yeah, the light gun.
Yeah. And like the old Game Boy had like an app or like a little attachment you could use to like take screenshots that would then get printed out onto a little printer connected to your Game Boy.
I remember that.
Yeah, they don't do stuff like that anymore. Like
No.
ever. They make things you're gonna use. They know you're going to use.
Have you ever been able to actually play with a Rob robot?
No, I haven't.
Those things, I've never played with one, but I want to.
They are so fucking expensive nowadays, especially ever since like Smash made Rob a popular character.
Yeah, I remember looking because I went back and like bought some random video game stuff, like I don't know, probably like 15 years ago. And there was like a complete Rob robot with like, I think there were only 2 games that it was actually compatible with, but it came with like both the games that had all the accessories. It was still in the box. And I think it ended up going for like maybe like $200 or maybe just under.
Mm-hmm.
But then
not today.
No, I looked like a few years ago and it was like, I think just the robot with no accessories, like no box, no games was like over $3.
Yeah, no, not shocking.
Yeah, it happens.
You got to buy nostalgia before it becomes nostalgic.
Right?
That's why I purchased all kinds of game stuff, because I just assume it'll be super expensive in the future. Like the KFC console, that's gonna be worth way more than $2,000 I spent on it.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait to play that thing. Mack, so you remember in the last episode we talked about that person that I know that is a school teacher,
yeah,
and also believes in some sort of Titanic conspiracy.
Yep.
So there's another one.
Oh, good.
It's not necessarily a conspiracy. And this is from a little bit ago. I think it was whenever there was that massive power outage in Texas.
Of course, that has to be a conspiracy theory.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not that Texas has a shit infrastructure.
So I'm going to read you her post word for word, and then I would like you to tell me what your first thought is.
Okay.
Because I have a very clear thought. Like, as soon as I read this, one thing stuck out that completely like shoots down this entire post. But it says, Biden supporters, make sure you put those generators away since you don't support the oil field. Try powering your windmill with your hopes and dreams. Let us know how that works out for you.
You don't power a windmill. The windmill is the power.
Thank you. You power it with the wind.
What the fuck?
Oh, God, she's such an idiot.
What? Can you imagine having these giant freestanding fans that you're just like, yeah, I don't know. If it spins fast enough, it cools the whole state down.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my God, that's goofy.
And I noticed that she had been like somewhat quiet recently, and I thought, oh man, that's kind of disappointing. And I looked yesterday, and I'm sure I guarantee she didn't listen to the podcast because it just that episode came out yesterday. but she apparently unfriended me at some point within like the last month.
She had a premonition. She
Yeah,
had a conspiracy theory that you're going to do that shit.
apparently. But I can still look at her profile. I just can't see her story, which is that's where most of the goods came from. But
Damn, that's sad.
But if anything else pops up, I'll let you know. I'll just periodically keep checking to see if she's got anything good.
Sounds good. Sounds epic.
Powering windmills with hopes and dreams.
God, I hate people.
God, people are so fucking stupid.
Microwave asks, what do you do to feel better when you're sad or mad? I usually beat up an orphan.
Masturbate?
I don't like those two things being next to each other.
you don't like to masturbate near an orphan?
I don't like beating up an orphan being next to, exactly. I don't like those two things connected.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I don't either. No, but I guess to answer that seriously, I usually buy something off my Amazon wish list.
Oh really? That's an interesting.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, not necessarily always Amazon, but I usually buy something. It usually cheers me up.
I usually just kind of relax. I don't know, when I'm mad, I usually feel compelled to figure out whatever is making me angry. It's definitely not good, especially when it comes to video games, because if a game makes me mad, I feel compelled to play it more to finish whatever like business I've created.
Okay.
So I have to like really convince myself to stop playing sometimes if it's a game that's making me really angry. But in terms of sad, I mean, I don't really get mad that often. Like
no.
You and I both, like we're people who are very difficult to make upset. I feel like
we are both pretty laid back as fuck.
Right. We just kind of go with the flow. So it's pretty hard to make us mad. In terms of sad, I don't know. I usually just kind of relax, maybe watch a movie or something. You know, my cat Luna makes me very happy because she's my special girl. So I'll sit on the couch and cuddle with her when I
play with your pussy a little bit.
Just play with my pussy a little bit. When I was when I made my whole pie mistake, I was planning to come home and stream that day, but I was so embarrassed and felt so shit about that I just came home and sat on the couch with my girl and watched some anime.
Nice. That's a solid little.
It's a very wholesome way to deal with sadness.
So speaking of our pets and actually pets throwing up, we've previously talked about how when Lily gets a big drink of water, sometimes when she's done, she will spit up some of said water.
Right.
Well, it happened this morning, and whenever I leave for work, I look at her and I say, okay, I have to go to work, and sometimes she'll be a good girl and walk into her crate. Other times she'll get into her bed.
She definitely knows what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, she doesn't want me to leave. Sometimes she'll just sit in her bed like a lump. But today she was looking at me and I go, okay, I have to go to work. And it was just random timing, but she like regurgitated her water at that moment. And I just imagined that was her. That was her
ploy to get you to stick around a little longer.
Yeah, her instant response to the thought of me leaving was just
up chuck.
Yep, all over the place.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
But yeah, it's just water. It wasn't a big deal.
Dogs.
Them dogs.
Dogs be doing the dog thing.
They do it doggy style.
All right.
All right.
Changing the subject.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I had mentioned this before. So Lily, my dog, is named after Lily from the show How I Met Your Mother, which we both love.
Yeah.
But Lily has a middle name that I gave to her,
right? Yes.
Because she needed it for her AKC paperwork. I had to give her a middle name. So I played into the whole How I Met Your Mother thing, and her middle name is, wait for it,
right?
Like like Barney suggested that Marshall and Lily give
Their
baby Marvin as his middle name, and surprisingly, they actually went along with it.
I mean, it's a pretty tight middle name,
right?
Luna doesn't have a middle name.
Oh,
her middle name is Stinkus now. Stinkus.
I like it. Very nice.
Because that's usually what I call her. I don't call her Luna that much. I so infrequently call her Luna.
Yeah. I got a bunch of names that I call Lily, but
who calls their pet by their name? You know, you call your pet by their name when they're in trouble.
Right. Sometimes mine's a potato. Kind of looks like a little potato.
She just got one of those looks.
Yeah.
She got that potato look.
Tater.
I hardly know her. Never stops being funny.
No, it really doesn't.
All right. Well, we are out of content.
Are we really? How long have we been going today?
Only about 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes? Let me see if I got anything else written down here. I make notes here and there.
I'm just trying to think of anything to say, and I just am blanking because I'm a Dumbo brain. I'm sleepy.
You don't have any questions.
I mean, there's more questions, but I want to save them for later episodes.
Well, maybe we'll get more questions. Out with something.
What if we don't? What if we don't get more questions? What are we going to do then?
Well, then, I don't know. We'll figure it out then.
What do people tend to get wrong about your current job?
This doesn't completely answer your question, but our previous job, they thought we worked at different places because
all the time.
All the time. So the full name of the company that we used to work for was Cost Plus World Market, and one of the common things people thought were they thought we worked at Costco. Because we would get phone calls and be like, yeah, can you connect us to the pharmacy?
And we ain't got none of that.
We did not have a pharmacy, but Costco does.
Closest thing we had to a pharmacy was some essential oils in our fucking queue line.
Yeah, some of those hippie oils.
I don't know. And this is also more of an answer to like our previous jobs at World Market, but there's an absurd number of people in the world who seem to think that the employees of a multi-million-dollar company directly have any control over what products are carried in the store.
Absolutely.
Like, and this connects to like the thing we were saying before about how obviously the person ringing your stuff up controls the prices to everything. But people would constantly be like, "Oh, you're not carrying this anymore. You should buy it." And it's like we literally don't do any of that. This gets shipped to us on a. It's like our trucks are like a fucking loot box. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
Sometimes you'll get a cup of ramen that's labeled as a couch. You can't even trust what the label says.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's not a joke either. That legitimately happened. Someone took a fucking tag for a couch and stuck it on like a small box or something. And I was like, yeah, this like 3x3 square box seems like it's definitely got a couch inside of it.
Yeah, definitely looks like a couch.
The vice versa was true too. Like we'd get a couch labeled as a bag of chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those warehouse people, they were goofy.
So this isn't necessarily something that like anyone I know thinks about my current job, but so like I've said, I spent most of my time in stores, a lot of grocery stores, that kind of thing. But shoppers within the grocery store assume that I am a grocery store employee.
Yeah.
And will then ask me completely random things. Sometimes even after I tell them that I don't work there.
See, now that's pretty goofy because I can see how someone would mistake you for working in a store.
Yeah,
because you sometimes have to like put the beer or wine onto the shelf.
Right. So I'll get someone that walks up and if they say, "Oh, hey, do you work here?" The typical response is, "No, I don't. I work for another company. I'm a vendor, but what's your question?" Because a lot of times it's related to what I'm doing.
Right, beer or wine.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not at all. Like I had one lady come up to me one time and she goes, Do you work here? Which it's awesome. Thank you
for asking.
But then that's when she turned into a Karen. Because I said no. And then she proceeds to say, well, you're in here more than I am. You probably know the answer.
Okay, that's fair. If after she asked your question, you still said, I don't know the answer to that, I don't work here, and she pushed it, that would push it further into Karen's territory.
But to be fair, it was completely unrelated to anything that I do for my job.
I don't know. That's still not that bad.
Do you know where the spices are? Like,
I mean, spices aren't hard to find.
No.
There's usually a spice aisle.
Yeah, with a label above the aisle.
Right.
Open your eyes.
My like, I don't know. Maybe because of like my years of retail experience, I just give off like the energy of a retail worker.
Mm-hmm.
I have like multiple times on my grocery trips to Target had people stop me and ask me questions, and I have to be like, I don't work here. And the thing that's confusing about that is that all Target employees wear the color red.
Yes.
And like khakis. I wear fucking black jeans and usually black or not red most of the time.
Right.
And my favorite was one time a lady asked me a question. I was like, I kind of muttered like, I don't work here. Like I wasn't super loud. And she was like, oh, you're on break? And I was like, nope, I don't work at this store. And again, was not wearing anything red. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Why do you think I work here? I don't.
Yeah, that. I've had that happen as well. Even when I'm not in a store working, just
hanging out.
Just even doing some grocery shopping or whatever. If I don't have like a cart full of stuff, someone apparently just assumes that I work there.
I do really enjoy the reverse of it, where people would walk up to us at World Market wearing our nice shiny red aprons with our name tags on them, and they'd be like, oh, do you work here? And it's like, no, I asked the company if I could wear an apron today.
Yeah, like
that's not too bad, but it's definitely like, just use your eyes.
Yeah. Do you think I work here?
Do you walk around with an apron on a regular basis?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when I tell people what I do, they just generally don't necessarily know what it is.
Yeah.
Like I say I'm a buyer, and they kind of look, and I have to explain like, I buy merchandise, ingredients, I handle financial bullshit,
Yeah.
Buy a lot of pies.
Oh, so I've got one of those things that retail customers say, like
all the time.
Yeah. So I'll frequently have, like a case of wine or like a shopping cart with a bunch of bottles of wine in it that I'm pushing from one spot to another. And I frequently get oh, you want to just take that out to my car for me?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's real original. No one's heard anyone say that before.
The wine mom jokes are just so tiring.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff we would sell around the holidays or just in general with like random wine phrases on them.
Right.
Stupid wine puns. It's like you're an alcoholic.
Like mommy's grape juice. Yeah.
I hate people. Like I feel like I'm a very cynical person, and I feel like retail turned me into that.
It happens. Mac, you won't be surprised at all by this, but our old store manager Carissa.
Yeah.
So this was, I don't know, maybe. Well, I guess this was a little over a year ago when I was applying for the current job that I have now. I sent her a text and said, "Hey, can I put you down as a reference?" And I
still can't believe you did that.
Yeah, it was probably a mistake, but it ended up working out fine. But I got the typical, who is this?
New phone, who dis?
Right. And then this was about, I don't know, a week or two ago. I get a DM to Lily's Instagram from her, and she's like, "Hey, I got a new number. What's your number?" That's like the fourth phone number she's had in like 3 years.
She probably keeps losing them on the side of the road when she gets a flat tire.
Right, because I'm sure she just uses burners. Oh,
she could be an entire podcast. She could be an entire podcast subject.
Yeah. Oh God, the things that she would do.
Are you a big fish eater?
I'm not a big fish eater, but I like some fish. Like fish and chips is fantastic. I love that.
I have not tried much fish, and I haven't generally liked what I've tried.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really, I mean, I do know why. It's usually the texture. I'm just not a fan of the texture. But like, I wish I did like seafood, because the department head for the seafood area is going on parental leave pretty soon, so they asked me to kind of do some of their buying one day a week while he's gone.
Nice.
So I've been learning seafood buying, and like when I've been looking at all the seafood in the case, like a lot of it looks really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of shellfish. But like actual fish, I could take it or leave it. But like shrimp, crab, lobster, clams, oysters, all that, big fan of all that stuff.
Fish looks so fucking gross on the outside, but you cut those suckers open and their fishness looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, like salmon looks incredible.
Yeah,
like
that beautiful pink color.
Yeah.
That shit looks delicious.
Right? It looks so good. They named a color after it.
Right.
I mean, that's saying something right there.
Right. So the more I look at it, the more I'm like, maybe I should just buy some of this and cook some of it up and just hope I like it. Because I mean, it's been a while since I've tried fish. I just haven't liked it generally.
Maybe we should do a seafood video.
That wouldn't be bad.
You know, you can try out some of the good goods. Now, if you do end up buying for the seafood department, if you happen to buy 8 times the amount of seafood you need, let me know. Maybe I can help you out.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's solved now. You know, the biggest thing that sucks about it is knowing that everybody in the store knows I made a giant mistake and it was really stupid. But you know, it's over and done with at this point. I can't take it back, so who cares?
To be fair, I've done something similar to that on a few occasions. And sometimes the inverse of it as well. So working as a sales rep, you know, I place orders for wine. And we can order by the bottle or by the case, which is 12 bottles.
Right.
There have definitely been times where I've ordered 2 cases instead of 2 bottles, or vice versa, where I need a case and I only order a single bottle.
I wonder if you can shed some light on like a situation I had a few years ago. Just as someone who now does some of that vendor stuff.
Sure.
There was this one time, and this situation still haunts me to this day as like a pretty cringe moment of my life.
Okay.
When we worked at World Market, vendors would come and bring us our beer and wine, and they would like bring it in, and we'd have to check it in and all that.
Yeah.
So there was this one time, and I'm gonna cut out the name of the place. It was,
yeah.
And you know, I'm assuming you'll remember the one vendor who usually would bring us our stuff, like the big guy.
Yeah, yeah, the one that Chris used to call Sunshine.
Oh, that's nice. He like started bringing in all these cases.
Yeah.
Of this, and I was looking at this order sheet, and I was like, I don't think we ordered any of this.
Yeah.
But he kept bringing in more. And I was sitting there like, I have to be missing something. So I like went back in the office, checked our orders, like tried to find any information about it.
Yeah.
And then I scanned it, and it wasn't registered to any order. He had like unloaded 15 cases each of 2 different kinds of wine.
Oh no.
So 30 total cases. And I like look, and he like dropped out the last case of it. And I was like, we didn't order any of this. Oof. And he got really mad at me, and like it was really understandable, and I feel really bad about it. He got really mad at me, like, why didn't you stop me while I was unloading all of these? Why didn't you ask me about this? And like I hadn't even considered doing that. Like obviously I should have, because then he had to reload all of it. But I was sitting there like, yes, I should have stopped you. But at the same time, if someone starts bringing in 30 cases of a wine, I assume I'm in the wrong. Because why the fuck would a vendor just randomly hand me 30 cases of wine that I didn't order?
Right. And at our previous job, sometimes we would get corporate orders that we didn't necessarily get notified about, and we'd have to go back and go, oh yeah, look, they placed an order and didn't tell us.
But we would never get that volume unless it was like those special release wines.
Yeah. But
so I'm wondering if you happen to know like any way that could have happened, because that was not an uncommon occurrence either. We got stuff we didn't order all the time, And it wasn't like a mispick. They just throw in a random case.
I mean, he may have been mixing it up with a different stop. Maybe it was supposed to go to Costco or Whole Foods because people got World Market and Whole Foods mixed up all the time.
True.
So maybe it was just someone else's order that he unloaded, or I don't know.
I feel so bad because like every time I'm thinking about that, like, yes, I'm like, I definitely should have been like, hold on a second, let me see if I can look into this.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. He was so mad. I tried to help him and he just told me to leave him alone.
I mean,
he was mad. He was not okay with the fact that I just let him unload all that.
I mean, that sales rep also could have he could have punched the order in for World Market instead of wherever it was supposed to go.
Okay, I can see that happening.
So on the end of that distributor, they may have thought he thought he was delivering it to the right spot, even though we didn't order it at the store.
Oh, that was such a difficult situation. I felt so bad.
Oh, that sucks because that guy was so nice.
Well, he got over it. Like a couple of times after I saw him, after that, it was kind of awkward. But after that, he started being nice again.
Yeah.
So he got over it. But I it was so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work to carry 30 cases of wine out.
Yeah. He was a really nice dude, though. So I'm glad he got over it.
Yeah, I liked that guy.
Sunshine.
He's a good guy.
Cool dude.
You remember? You remember we had that third party delivery service that would deliver our furniture for us? Not the fuckers, the good ones.
Oh, okay. Because instantly I went to that horrible company.
Yeah, let me give some context here. While we worked at World Market, we had two different third party companies in our time there that delivered furniture for us. It started off with one and then switched to another. The ones that we had when I got hired fucking sucked. They were terrible.
They were so bad.
This shit is so absurd. You wouldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
Like they would. I assume they contracted people out because they would show up in an unlabeled van, like a white dirty ass van that had no logo on it.
Yep.
The guys who would come to pick it up never wore like a company shirt or anything. They were just like in normal clothes.
Yep.
And they would never know what they were there to pick up. You'd be like, what are you here to pick up? And they'd be like, I don't know. Sometimes they would have a customer name. Sometimes they wouldn't.
Right.
And they would have to like call the company and be like, who am I picking this up for? It was so fucking. We had multiple situations where like they took the furniture and it somehow never got to the customer,
right?
Or they would just never come to pick it up at all. Like they were so fucking bad.
Yeah, like so you're right. Like so sometimes they would just have like a customer's name and have no idea what they were picking up. But then worse than that is when they would only know what they were picking up but wouldn't know who it was going to. And you'd have, if it was like a furniture sale or something, we would sell a lot of the same item.
Yeah, definitely.
So there may be like a couch and a table going to one customer and just the couch going to the other, going to another customer. And they're like, oh, yep, I'm here to pick up that couch. And we're like,
which one?
Which order is it?
Oh my God.
Oh.
They were so fucking ridiculous. And like we had that one time that like, one of the guys who came in he just seemed like he was probably definitely high. Like he had his hand on his face the whole time. And like he looked like he was terrified out of his mind. Oh God. They fucking sucked. So eventually, finally, they switched to a better company, a company that was phenomenal. They were so good. Like,
great company.
They were so easy to work with, and we had this one delivery guy. You remember the guy with the ponytail?
Yeah, the ponytail guy.
He was fucking awesome.
Love that dude.
Love that guy. I think he was a 70s ponytail kind of guy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Mike and I had a thing where we like we really enjoy like finding older gentlemen with like a gray like a gray hair and like a long ponytail, and you just look at him and you're like, this guy has had a ponytail since Woodstock days.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and an OG ponytail, you've just been rocking that for 20, 30 years.
That's the gem right there.
Hell yeah.
And he was definitely one of those, but he was such a nice guy. That guy was awesome.
Oh, he was awesome. Yeah, I was always happy when he showed up, and like
he always liked showing up too. Like he loved us.
I know. He's like, you guys actually have stuff ready for me when I get here,
and we would like help him load up, which like I guess other places didn't.
Yeah.
Or no, he was easy to work with. He was a nice guy.
Speaking of other situations where like we didn't know what was supposed to be picked up, remember how we would get like we'd get customers that would return items that were only sold online?
Oh my god, that's the worst.
Well, when this happened, the company was supposed to like send us like they would send FedEx to come pick it up.
Right, they were supposed to arrange a pickup.
Yeah, and so this furniture would just pile up
because they wouldn't like a lot of the time we wouldn't end up seeing a FedEx guy to come pick it up.
Yeah. And then do you remember how many times that like the FedEx guy would show up and he'd be like, hey, I'm here to pick something up. And we're like, I don't know what you're here to pick up.
Just hand him something random. I'd be like, this needs to be returned. Like it'd be something we piled up for a while and be like, well, I don't know what you're here to pick up, but this definitely needs to go back. So we just hand him something.
They're like, we've been trying to get rid of this chair for 3 months, so I'm going to slap your label on that.
That guy hated us, and I don't blame him.
He hated us so much.
Like every time he had to stop at our store, you could tell he was not happy about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't our fault, though. It was the company.
No, it wasn't our fault, but at the same time, it sucks for that dude. I would hate to be him.
Right. God, that company had so many fucking terrible systems.
Yeah.
Oh, we were like trying to distinguish ourselves as like a furniture company that makes nice furniture. Like, you know, I would describe the furniture world market sells as like the in between of like an expensive place and IKEA.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's a very good description.
And but we would try to like sell ourselves as like the high end.
Yeah.
Like furniture from around the world crafted by expert artisans. And like we used to like when it came to be outdoor furniture time, like we had like pamphlets showing how we produce our Adirondack chairs and like the process within the factory and the fact that they built a factory just to make them, like all this shit to try to show people how high end our furniture is. And then we fucking load it up in a dirty white van with a couple tweakers and send it out.
Yeah.
Like this is how much respect we have, not only for our own furniture, but your furniture.
Well, and the amount of furniture that would be like missing pieces or like holes would be drilled in the wrong spot.
You remember that time that Steve like built that like outdoor, what was it, like
oh god,
like drink cart thing?
Oh, the was it the potting bench that
That's
also
it. Yeah, the potting bench
that also doubled as like a bar.
So Steve was this guy we worked with. He had a bit of a temper sometimes.
We've mentioned him. He was the guy who
lived in the crack
house. Yeah. And
he was an interesting fellow, but he was just mad like all the time.
Just straight angry all the time.
Unless he came to work high. But yeah, sometimes it made him more angry though.
Sometimes.
But there's this one time he built this outdoor piece of furniture. It's called a potting bench. Like you can just look up a picture of what one looks like. I don't want to explain it, but like it was a piece of furniture, and this comes from the old home department head. Like I knew how to build all our furniture really well. That thing was a pain in the ass to build.
Yeah,
like it was really complex, and you could tell looking at how he constructed the thing that at some point in the building process he got angry and just started doing it his own way.
Yep,
he like made new holes to screw screws into that then stuck out on the other side. The thing was built so shittily, like everything was loose or it like drilled in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy didn't give a shit. He was so mad.
Yeah. Oh, that dude. So God, there's so many stories that we could tell about him, but
honestly, yeah. Just worked with so many interesting people.
Yeah. Fucking Marco. Do you remember when Marco took his European vacation?
The time he almost got fired.
Yeah. I was cleaning out a box of stuff the other day, just a bunch of random nonsense that I had, and I found a little Eiffel Tower keychain that he brought back from Paris, And I remember when he gave it to me, he did this to everyone that he brought him back for. He like handed it to us as like a handshake and was like,
as if he's giving you drugs.
Yeah, and was like, I really hope you get to see the world someday.
Oh my God. That sounds like something he would do.
That dude.
Oh, he took this big boat vacation. It was like a 3-week trip through Europe through like a vacation company or touring company or whatever.
Yeah.
But he only had 2 weeks of vacation saved up, and he was a full-time department head.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. You can't like take an extra week that you don't have time for.
Right.
So he almost got fired for that. And he like was mad about it and was like, "This isn't fair." It's like, no, that's how vacation time works.
It's actually completely fair.
That's the agreement with vacation time. You're allowed to take this much vacation per year according to the amount that you've accumulated.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't think I'm making this up, but I feel like leading up to that, he even like took a couple random days off, like leading up to his vacation. And Carissa was like, "You're going to be taking a 3-week vacation. Like, you can't be using up the lack of vacation time you already have."
Right.
Oh God.
Do you remember that time when Carissa hired a girl for like 3 days?
Which one are you talking about?
It was a girl who used to work at the store who was like back from school but was going back to school soon.
Yes. Oh.
So she fucking hired her, like went through the whole hiring process, and then like on her first day she was like, "Yeah, I'm only gonna be here for like a week." And I was like, and so I like brought it up to Carissa. I was like, "Why did you hire her for a week? Like, you spent more time like money and labor wise to train her,
Yeah,
to like retrain her than she's actually going to be working here." And she like didn't even know. Like, there's no way this didn't come up in like the hiring process.
No, you know, Carissa was just playing dumb about that.
Totally.
Oh God.
Oh, that's so fucking goofy.
So when Marco got promoted to department head, Carissa sent out she sent a text to all of the supervisors asking like, "Hey, what do you think about Marco? Do you think he'd be good in this position?" And this is really kind of before we really got to know how much of a shithead he was.
That's the only way I could see him getting a position like that.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, like Tim was completely indifferent. Like I think the rest of us were pretty much like against it. And my response, I still have a screenshot of it somewhere, but I was like, he's okay, not great. And she was like, I think I'm gonna promote him.
Oh my God. She was the worst about hiring people too. Do you remember how I got my first promotion? I don't know if I ever told you about this.
Was this gourmet?
No, it was POS.
Oh, okay.
Which does not stand for piece of shit. It stood for point of sale.
Point of sale.
It was the person who hung up all the signs in the store, but there was traditionally 2 POS coordinators, and
yes.
they each worked part-time. So when I got hired there, we had 2. And then like not long after I stopped working there, or not long after I started working there, one of them left. Mm-hmm. So it just left the one. Hi, Jess. I know you listen to the podcast every now and then.
Hey, Jess.
If you're watching, we love you. So it was just Jess doing the job. And like I want to say this was 3 or 4 months that went by, like right after I got hired, that we just only had one POS coordinator. And I was sitting there like, I kind of want to like get promoted so I can make a little more money. Like, I wasn't looking for full time at that time. So it was like, this is a part-time gig. I wanted to stand in the register so long. I was totally down to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was like trying to like do my job really well to like show I was really capable for it. And like, she never offered it to me or anything. She never offered it to anybody.
Yeah.
And so finally, like, I want to say it was springtime, and like the previous POS coordinator had left in like December or November. Uh-huh. I just asked her like, are you ever planning to fill that position? And she goes, "Yeah, do you want it?"
Oh my God.
Like, all I had to do was ask. Like, she was totally on board, had no reservations about me going to that position because she loved me. Like, she could have just fucking asked me and I would have done it.
Oof.
And like, because this was my first like real job as an adult. Like, I'd worked at McDonald's before World Market, and I'd done my camp job, but those, you know, they weren't like, I didn't stay at McDonald's long, and camp really wasn't like a real job. So this is like my first real job. I was still going into it with the mindset of like, people will promote you. You just got to do the good work and not ask for it.
Yeah.
And like that situation taught me like, no, just express interest and you'll be more likely to like get offered.
Oh.
So, I mean, I guess I'm glad for it in that aspect so that I didn't continue to think that I just needed to keep working for it, because that's definitely not the case.
Yeah.
Like for anyone out there, like if you want to get promoted, express interest in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you don't have to be like, can I get promoted? But just tell them like I'm interested in moving up.
Yeah.
But like that's literally all it took was for me to ask if she was ever going to fill it. The answer was yes. She just hadn't.
I completely forgot that you had that position.
Yeah, well, I didn't have it long. I want to say it was like 6 months before I got gourmet.
Yeah. So pulling Crystal, the banana Laffy Taffy lover, into this.
I'm sure she's gonna love being defined by that.
Well, whatever. I'm sure there's worse things we could say about her. Love you, Crystal. Mac, you almost didn't get the job at World Market.
I still don't think it was fair, but I understand why.
Oh, I mean, I would say I think it's completely fair.
Come on, it was an entry-level job at a shitty company.
Okay, so Crystal was interviewing Mack when he applied for the job as just, a sales associate.
Yeah, it was a seasonal. Like a seasonal cashier.
And so, a common question during interviews is, why would you like to work here? And Mac, what was your response to that?
I need a job.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think that's bullshit. I stand by that, okay? Entry-level positions at massive companies cannot expect everybody coming in to have an active interest in the world of furniture and gourmet foods.
You should at least pretend to.
I'm smart, okay? I'm a smart person. I'm a hard worker. I thought that my answers to other questions would speak for me. I didn't think I had to fucking prove myself. Be like, oh my God, furniture from Vietnam built by people who probably aren't paid enough is something I am so passionate about. I want to sell it to the rich folks of America. No, I needed a job. I was 18. I was out of school. I needed a job.
I mean, all you needed to say was, hey, you've got a lot of cool stuff here. That's it. That's the end of it.
No, fuck that. I'd rather be honest. I'd rather just speak my truth. And I got the job. And you know what? I fucking kicked ass. I was very good at my job.
I'm pretty sure, and maybe Crystal will be able to confirm this for me. I'm pretty sure that you got the job over, like, it was between you and someone else.
Really? I didn't know about that.
I'm pretty sure. And like, there was some sort of like fairly major issue, that was like the reason why they didn't get the job.
I mean, I understand it. And like, I know now when I'm in an interview not to do that kind of thing. But I personally, if someone said that to me in an interview, I would think that's totally fair. I'm not looking for people like, if I was hiring for my bakery, I wouldn't be looking for people super passionate about baking. Like it's an entry level job. You can't expect everyone coming in to be super passionate about it. You just want smart, hardworking people.
But you don't know they're smart and hardworking before you hire them.
You can tell from your conversations with them, like if they're well spoken and can like
well-spoken
form their
thing.
thoughts well. Like,
yeah.
How many people did we interview where we would ask them really basic questions and they would have nonsensical answers? And it's like, okay, this person doesn't, like, they have nothing going on up there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you'd think you would come up with some better answer than I need a job.
That was the truth. What's so bad about telling the truth? When did it become bad to tell the truth?
It's not about telling the truth. It just makes it seem like you have no real desire to work there.
I didn't. I just needed a job.
You don't tell people that.
It was an entry-level position at a shitty store.
It makes you very undesirable, Mac.
I disagree.
Okay, this one you were completely wrong on.
No.
No one is going to agree with you on this.
If you're fucking interviewing for someone for McDonald's and you ask them why they had applied, do you think they would tell you they have a passion for cheap, shitty food?
No, just be like, hey, you got good French fries. Done. Give me something.
No, that would sound like I wouldn't hire someone because that sounded like fake bullshit and they were trying to play me.
No, McDonald's has great French fries.
No, but that answer is like, that's not why you want to work here. You need a job. That's why anyone applies to McDonald's. No one works at McDonald's because they want to. It sucks there. I worked there.
I mean, fair. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm sure it is really shitty to work there, but you need to have somewhat of an answer.
No, if that's not part of my interview process. When I interview people, I don't care about their answer to that question.
It should be.
No, it's a stupid question. If you're hiring someone for a salaried position at a big company, yes, the reason that they're applying matters. But an entry-level position at a shitty store, especially seasonal, when you're just trying to bulk up your staff numbers, like the thing I care the least about is why you apply. What I want to know is if you're smart and hardworking.
Yeah, but you can't tell if someone's hardworking through an interview.
You can't tell if they're hardworking, but you can tell if they're smart.
Potentially. I don't know where Luna is. I don't know if she's throwing up somewhere.
Oh, I don't know where she is.
I kind of forgot that I was supposed to be paying attention to her.
It's fine. We're at the end of the podcast anyway, so fuck off, idiots.